Hello, hello, hello. So, guys, the idea here is to share with you some findings and some highlights we got from a research we ordered from IDC last year. Early this year, IDC tell us something, some good information about how monitoring is in Latin countries. We understand why Latin. I will give you some contextualization before we start, but be prepared, guys, because the same questions we asked with IDC in Latin countries, I will ask for you right now. Be prepared. I will ask you to point your mobile phones to the screen because I will do some online survey here with you to understand if you are in line with what IDC told us or not. Yeah. So to start and to give you some contextualization on this research, when you talk about monitoring, ICT monitoring, what we are talking about, really? It's about servers, it's about routers, it's about database. Why we are talking about monitoring? Some contextualization. When we start to talk about monitoring, actually, we are talking about business. We are talking about ICT investments. How the companies are investing in ICT and why. They are not investing in ICT just to have better servers or some routers, something like that. They are investing to support their business. They need to guarantee the user's experience. They need to guarantee their income. But what this landscape is important to you, to understand that we, as a vendor, we as Zabbix, we have presence in some good markets talking about ICT. That means we understand a little about what is happening in these countries, in these regions. But these companies that are spending a lot of money on ICT, they are investing nowadays almost more than 15% of their, more than 50% of the companies are investing 50% of their income in ICT investments. What it means? It means they are investing much more than before. Before, that's not exceed 10%. But at the end, why they are investing in it? Because we will have much more IT services and resources to keep it up and running with a good quality. And these companies that are investing more and more in ICT, they need to keep this business running, of course. They need to support business, improve some productivity, and drive the growth, the business growth. They are not investing in ICT just to have better service, as I said. And Gartner tells us that we need to have a successful ICT management plan, or tools, or process. Why? Because they need to get this money back. They are investing, and they need this money back. So, and how about Zabbix in that scenario? Yeah, why we're talking about it? Because when you talk about Zabbix, we have ecosystems. You know, when we talk about Zabbix, we're talking about our offices, our partners, our users, and our customers. But why am I showing it to you guys? Because these ecosystems all the time are giving us a lot of information about this market, about ICT market. We have a lot of information coming from the partners, users, customers all the time. We have a lot of meetings every day to understand what the customers need, what our partners are facing in their business, in their regions. That means we understand a little about this market. We really understand what is happening in this ICT market. But the question is it enough for us? No, it's not enough. Because we as a vendor, we need to understand this market beyond our ecosystem. We need to understand much more than we get from our customers, our users, our partners, and what we get from our offices. And to do that, we ordered a research, a survey from IDC. Of course, you know about IDC. You know what IDC does. And we try to understand, together IDC, how companies are moving when we talk about ICT monitoring. Why they are thinking about it, and what they need, and what are their challenges in this scenario. And why we did this research in Latam, to give you some context on that. Well, we are there. We have there 2 offices, but we understand when we talk about Latam market, we're talking about more than 20 countries. Yeah? And we have almost the same language that population is talking in these countries. We have a good amount, a good partnership network in these countries. I mean, for us, it's easy to understand the market. We started there, but maybe we will extend this research for other regions. But right now, we have information about our market. But I'm pretty sure that you can use the same information to all the market, because at the end, the companies are using the same tools. The companies are facing the same challenge. Yeah? But this research was made in Latin countries. But we tried to approach some countries, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, and Chile. But this research was made with decision makers. We do not approach the engineers here. We start to talk with the IT leaders to understand their needs, their challenges, what they are facing when we talk about ICT monitoring. And of course, we approached some industries, some sectors, like banks, retail, telcos, and government sector. I mean, we expected to receive some information from IT leaders in these countries and in these sectors. So that is the context. Moving on, the first highlight we have here, it's about are these companies using some monitoring solution in their environments? Yes or no? The information that we have here is yes. Almost 90% of these companies are using monitoring tools. They are doing that. But what is important to understand, and of course, we need to think about your country, your region, and your scenario, because in Brazil, for example, we have more maturity when we talk about monitoring things. But other countries not. As you can see, Chile is not so much advanced on this scenario, on monitoring things. And for sure, it occurs here in Europe. Some countries has a clear vision about monitoring scenario, about how to keep these services up and running with a good quality. Yeah? And the first highlight is that. But be prepared, guys. I will ask something. I will start to ask something for you that IDC asked to this audience, these IT leaders, to understand if you are in line with that or not. So the first question for you, please point your cell phones to this QR code. And let's understand, when you think about monitoring, yeah, what benefits monitoring you provide to these companies? What kind of benefits? When you guys are thinking about monitoring, what do we expect to receive back from monitoring? Why companies are here to understand about monitoring? Why companies are buying monitoring services from Zabbix or from other companies? Yeah? Let's check. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Customer service. Operational efficiency. Let's see. Security. Yeah, security is a hot topic for a long time. Even more after the pandemics. Yeah, we have a lot of new services online, and of course, security plays an important role in this scenario. Yeah, let's see. Security, let me see, operational efficiency. Okay, let's move on. Operational efficiency. For us, the operational efficiency is the most important benefits, that monitoring will give for us. Let's check. Okay, that's the result. These IT leaders in Latin countries tell us that security is the most important thing when they thought about monitoring things. Yeah? After that, productivity. Customer services, it's another one. Yeah? That is the top 5 ones, guys. The information that IDC tell us about it. Yeah, but when we talk about monitoring, it's not just about security or productivity. We need to understand that after pandemics, a lot of change happened on this market. For example, you know about this lack of talents on ICT or tech talents in almost of the countries, almost of the companies. Yeah? We also know that the scenario is much more competitive than before. You know about it. Yeah? But the thing is, when you talk about the number of platforms, how many platforms do you have, guys, or do you think your customers have to monitor? They have 2 to 5, more than 20 platforms? Is it so much? We are talking about cloud platforms, containers, CRM, collaboration platforms, database, cloud platforms again. How many platforms do you have to monitor? Let's understand that we have much more services, online services than before. No? You have much more APIs. You have much more integrations between servers and services. And let me see. Yeah, more than 20. Why? Yeah, after pandemics, you know that a lot of companies, a lot of business has some online services, some online integration to their services. I'm talking about payment services. I'm talking about web shops. I mean, now it's hard to understand or to think about some business that has some dependence on technology. Yeah? That's it. We have a lot of platforms to monitor. You are right, guys. But IDC tell us that the quantity of platforms and how complex they are the most important challenge for them. They have a lot of platforms to monitor. And it's not easy to integrate one monitoring tool to all of these platforms. Usually, companies use more than one tool to monitor their environment. Because why? Because they have a lot of platforms to do that. Another thing, the second one, could you check here, please? Guys, we're talking about the lack of technical knowledge in their teams. Yeah, it's another thing. Here we're talking about the most important challenge they are facing right now. But can you check, please, where the budget are? It's not the most important one, yeah? Of course, budget plays an important role, always matters. You know about it, but it's not the most important right now. Right now, the most important thing is the lack of knowledge and, of course, the amount of platforms they have to monitor and how to integrate all these platforms. Yeah? It's information that IDC tells us. So, and the problems are not just on the amount of platforms or the lack of knowledge. We are talking about some kind of transformation in the business. The business are even more online. The business need more integration with other platforms, more and more and more, every month, every year. But when you talk about this challenge, that ones we are seeing right now, what importance for each one do you think? What most important challenge the companies are facing? Do you have here maybe some slide thing to decide about which one is more important. Let me check here, guys, what information we are sending to us. Okay. Okay. Yeah, but we had a glue. We already know about that, yeah. But for you, it's the same. But we, as a vendor, of course, we have some good experience about these monitoring projects we are participating on, or we are assisting our partners to deliver this kind of projects. But we have information here. The last one, the culture of care. What is it exactly? Because it's not just about technology. It's not just about tools, just about budget, or just about technical knowledge. It's about a cultural change. The entire company needs to understand why it's important to take care in these platforms, in these services, these online services. Because sometimes we can see that monitoring projects starts on the IT environment, on the IT area of that's companies, but the monitoring things, the guarantee of the services and the quality of the services is not a responsibility just for IT area. It's an important thing to understand. We need all the teams in the company understanding why monitoring is important, why they need to invest some money, some time, some knowledge on it. It's a very, very important thing. In our experience, it tells us that we need to help the companies, we need to assist the companies in that cultural change. It's not about technology, it's about a cultural change, you know? So, after this research, you got some landscape here. Of course, you receive a link at the end to download the entire presentation. You understand much more about the numbers IDC gave us. But right now, it's a landscape that we have talking about the main topics in this research. One of them is, of course, the number and how complex are these platforms. Companies have even more platforms to monitor. We need to understand about it. And when talk about platforms, it's not just e-commerce or ERP. We are talking about some internal systems. These internal systems need to be monitored and need to be integrated in the business, you know, and the monitoring things. Another thing is about technical experience. You know that technical guys need to understand about this bunch of platforms, this number of the platforms, and also these guys need to understand about the business and the monitoring tools that we are talking about. Yeah? Because this lack of technical knowledge is not just in the monitoring things, it's about all platforms they are using. Sometimes the technical guys doesn't know how to start to collect data in their platforms they need to monitor. Budget, yes, it's always matter for us, but it's not to have or not have enough resources to pay for services or to pay for projects. It's about where to invest these funds or where to invest these resources. Because sometimes companies are paying a lot for software that are not using. Why they are not using? Because the technical guys have no experience, you know? It happened with us, with Zabbix. We understand that customers that has no services, they are not buying services from us, or they are not certifying their technicals with us, they are not using 10% of entire power of Zabbix, 50% maybe, 10%. They are not taking advantage on the power that tools have. Of course, mainly talking about Zabbix. Another thing is companies are not approaching the partners, the right partners to help them in this journey. You know, companies are trying to do it alone. But in our experience, it's very, very important to the companies approach a good partner, a partner that can help them, not just in technical things inside the platform. The Zabbix, for example, But in the consultancy thing, what's possible to do? Because if you think about it, our partners, you remember the first slides I showed to you. You have a lot of partners around the world. You have customers in 90 countries. I mean, we really understand how to monitor things. And if the companies are not approaching us, if the companies are not buying services from us, we cannot assist them in this journey. Because that is very, very important to have some good technology partner to help in this monitoring journey. And of course, that this culture of care, I mean, how to teach the teams how important this monitoring thing is. And the last one, just for that, it's the last one. How do you think the companies are buying services, talking about monitoring? They prefer open source tools? These companies prefer commercial license? Or they are using both combined? What do you think? Okay, both combined. Okay, let me see. No? 62% to both combined. 63. Let's check. What IDC tell us? Yeah, you are right. Almost all organizations are using open source tool in their business to monitor combined or alone. But why open source? Of course, we are flexible, we are affordable, and we are much easier to integrate with other platforms. You know, we are open. You always can create new plugins, modules, or integrations to Zabbix. Yeah, Zabbix is a free and open source platform. And of course, IDC tell us the same. Companies are using open source in their monitoring journeys. So, going to the end, on time, some takeaways for you guys. It's a very important thing. Our experience tells us that these 5 steps are easy ones, are not so hard, are easy ones, but do you need to pay attention to that? Do you need to take these 5 steps in account when we start a monitoring project? The most successful projects that we know are taking account of these 5 steps. Very, very, very easy ones. For example, processes. For example, a tool alone, it's not sufficient. Yeah? It's not enough. Do you need to have process? If not, probably your monitoring project will fail in a couple of months, or you'll be abandoned because no one cares about alarms or events that are there for, I don't know, 3 days or 25 days. Why? Why we are monitoring things that are not important? Yeah, it's a very, very important thing. We need to have process. You need to think how to integrate monitoring tools with, I don't know, service desk tools. Yeah, we need to understand what process we have, and after that we'll start to think about how to include this monitoring tool there. Another thing is about needs. What is the business needs? Sometimes companies approach us and tell us, okay, we'll start a monitoring project, and we ask these guys, okay, what do you expect to monitor? All things, my entire environment. The next question is, why? Where is your pain? Why you are thinking to monitor all your environment? Why do not start in some very, very important topic in your company? Your e-commerce, your ERP? Where will you start? It's a very, very important thing. So guys, do not think to start monitoring all your environment without understanding the needs of the business. Because when you connect the points, if you understand the needs, you connect on the process. That's the point. Another thing about the tools. We need some good tools, the right tool, to connect needs and process. We need a tool that will integrate in these legacy and modern platforms. You remember more than 20 platforms to monitor. Which tool could do that? Will do that? Which tool can connect this amount of platforms and get information about that? Another thing is about teams. Remember, it's not just about technology, it's about cultural changing. So we need to work together, all company teams. We need to tell them about the monitoring, how important monitoring is inside the company. We need to get sponsors, internal sponsors to a monitoring project. Yeah? Do not think to start a monitoring project, please guys, inside the IT area. Do you need assistance from other areas on your company? The projects will be better if you do that. And of course, we need some good TCO, the total cost of ownership. Because sometimes we have all things attended here, but the price we'll pay to keep this monitoring tool up and running, it's too much for us. We need to understand how the TCO is to every tool we are thinking to use on the monitoring thing. But we are not talking just about licensing. We're talking about what hardware we need to keep this tool running there. And we need some training. We need some consultants and services. We need to understand how much it costs for us to keep these tools in our company. So 5 steps, easy ones, but do you need to pay attention, guys, or your monitoring project will fail, or you have some risk to fail. So yeah, here's some information that IDC tell us what companies are searching in the market when we talk about monitoring tools. What IDC tell us and how Zabbix can assist the companies in this scenario. Yeah? For example, we've talked about cost-effective. Companies are trying some resource optimization and savings in their budget. Of course, Zabbix, we know, can help the companies on this scenario. Yeah, some takeaways for you. Yeah, and I think, guys, that's it. Here you have the material. You can download it and check the entire content. It's a white paper created by IDC, sponsored by Zabbix. And remember, we are always trying to understand the market, why we're doing that, to improve Zabbix even more. Of course, we get a lot of information from you guys, but also we need to understand our customers beyond our ecosystems. And I think that's it. I don't know if you have some time to questions, Ronald, please.